Hello, everyone. This is Trojan once again from the power of my computer and editing software. We are welcoming a new player into online Tecmo, Nelson79, also known as Levi L. He is a local Green Bay player. He has won one of the GB LAN, bar night events, if you will, back last year in April. Basically, that warm-up tournament leading up to the first ever Tecmo Milwaukee tournament. He took first place in that event. And this is our second game of the night. The first one was riddled with some lag. We discovered that one of his children was on a tablet watching YouTube, so it diminished the experience. He was a little distracted as well, and it wasn't a particularly interesting game. So going back to back here. We went through a few matchups. We wanted to find something that wasn't super typical, and this seemed interesting enough. So we went with the Dolphins versus the Raiders, and I had already set my playbook up. I actually had been the Dolphins in the previous matchup, so I was fine with that and went into it. A little background on Levi. He likes to do things that you just, by the book, you would just not do in a Tecmo match. He uses plays that people don't do, and he uses tactics that other people won't do. And oftentimes it works to his advantage just because you aren't accustomed to defending it every day. So if you don't see these plays and go up against players using these plays, you're in for a rude awakening here. So kickoff, I get the ball first, out to around the 12 or 13, and go with a motion run. And get a pretty good start here. Disappointed. I thought I could get away from the pack just a little bit better there, but I didn't want to get stuck in the middle of the field. Luckily, I don't fumble. We're out near the 50. Go back to another motion play. Typically, when you're defending passing teams, you pick pass, so I want to see if I can encourage him to kind of reverse that trend. Red gun, pass 4. And here he gets out of position, and I laser it up to Tony Page for the easy score. So, one possession, one touchdown. And the thing with this team is that, with the exception of Anderson, who is decent on the back end with their secondary, they just don't have any real great defenders back there. Their strength is definitely in the defensive line. Bob Golick at nose tackle. And then on the ends, you've got Greg Townsend and Howie Long, which do require some skill if you're going to use them over and over, especially in pass coverage. You see his playbook here is very unorthodox, having multiple pro set. You don't see that pro set down very often. He does use the offset eye, so he's got that's going with that pass play. I start calling that. That first pass play has no actual run action that corresponds to it, and this will be a play he actually uses to his advantage. I'll explain why when it happens. So Bo Jackson gets loose here. As tappers go, Levi oftentimes can match me or even take me down. Depends on how quickly I get. So here I get sucked up. By the time I realize what's happening, I get engaged, and then it's an easy touchdown. So it's one of those things where you naturally want to run up, and you really have to be disciplined with it. So just like that, we are all tied up. Good possession for Levi. A little disappointed there. I thought I could get a little cutback, maybe get out to the 15 or 20 there. Hitting power for Page just didn't kick in for me. Going with the pass 3 here. He goes with McDaniel, and I wasn't sure what he was thinking here. I thought he'd really cheat up there. Came back down. Goes with Washington. I'm not sure again, why he's picking, who he's picking. Gets a break there. Defender jumps up and deflects that, so we're at third down here. And I go with run 3, have an alley here. And accidentally run out of bounds. Yeah, again, just a little bit of a little latency thing. Nothing intentional there. But I get the feeling like this is going to be one of those games where it just goes back and forth. And decided, you know what, if Marino can't make that throw, I was going to just run it, but he was wide open. You know, maybe in tournament play, I just run that and get the first down. Marino gets caught there, lucked out on the sideline. 2nd and 4, start of the second quarter. So to go back to the run here. Plenty of blockers out front. Drones catch it up or bottle it up there. And we're just going to keep doing this and see if he can adapt, or maybe he can start to take away run. And really no resistance there. So Sammy Smith getting some yards on the ground, getting it done. So we're up soon to be 14-7 here with the extra point. And so far, I'm very, very concerned with Bo, as you should be, anyone playing against that. But my strategy here is to make sure that he's not getting any bombs down the field. For the most part, I stick with pass. I do mix in some run calls here and there. What I had determined early on was that I was not going to be stopping. I was not having that success I needed with Offerdahl. Kept it to a 10-yard gain, and my thought is if I can make him go 10 plays down the field before he has to score, maybe a chance of a turnover kind of thing. So I'm not expecting to be able to slow him down a lot, but, you know, there goes the 1-yard gain. I thought he'd let the ball fly, but he doesn't. Like here's that play again. And even though I know it's coming, I just can't get down there enough. I kind of get stuck in the mud. Luckily, he drops the ball. Williams here, knock a blocker out. Actually, this is probably my best defense of that play the entire game. And I think here he goes with the dive play. I want to say I picked the pass that went with that. You know, my thought is maybe just try to run with the quarterback for a couple of yards instead of maybe having a risk of a called run play. And every time Bo changes direction, it's like you're in quicksand. You can't move. You're in the mud. So just trying to get underneath routes here. Really a great cross-field pass. Not a pass that I would expect Jay Schrader to make. You know, 2 out of 10 times for that matter, but he completes that. And he gets a break here, fumble downer. That's kind of what I was going for. I think I had more bodies around. It just happened to go to his lineman. And here there's just really no chance of getting to it. So, you know, strategy in theory worked to slow it down. But unfortunately, the result is not any different. So he matches scores with me. I'll be getting the ball back here with less than a minute left to go in the half. Again, inside the 10, really the hitting power for Page is just not coming through for me on the return. I must be getting engaged by defensive linemen or linebackers. And I got the feeling that he's been sitting on this pass 2 call most of the game. I think that's our prior game. This was a play that I just did a lot of damage with. So I went back to it. He sat on it, and I said, okay, well, if he's going to sit on that play, I'm going to do something different. So go to pass 3. Just give it time to open up here. Come out underneath. Glad no one jumped. Fortunately, wasted just a little bit too much time here. Needed to get that first down, and we were going to try to heave this down the field. We're going with pass 1, trying to get to Jensen, and there's an errant throw here. So that's disappointing with that combination. You think that throw at least has a shot to let itself play out as opposed to a throwaway, but well defended. So now he has the initiative. He controls the tempo. First possession in the second half. So one thing of note here, Jackson does go into bad condition, and as does Schrader. So he's going to swap out Burline, who went into good. Lucky for me, his skill positions across the board aren't in really good condition. Burline's really about the only one, if memory serves, there, but he's got a number of people in bad. This does give me some ability to help contain it a little bit. So I come up here, and just the timing of this is unfortunate. I thought I got back in time. Instead, my guy dives and does not engage Allen, so he gets a nice gain on calling pass 2 offset I there. And here I know it's coming. I actually call it. I'm like, you know what? Screw this play. I don't like it. We're just going to take it away for now. And really disappointed that my drones are not at least making contact there at the line. I'm just trying to get that lead blocker to get free so that the drones can touch Bo. No chance. He's off to the races. And when you play against the Raiders, that can happen. One mistake, and he's gone. So, started the game up 7-0, and now we're down 21-14. But other than just running out of time, he hasn't actually stopped us yet, so feel good about our chances here. He hasn't been able to do much against the run. Finally get a knockoff there with Page, but then he gets engaged, and so we're just stuck at the 10. Go back to pass 1. We want to see what we can get. He's kind of comes up on that underneath route, and the drone defends that well. We come back to the run here and just try to make sure we get a first down, that we're not stuck on our own end. Does a good job. He must have called run on that particular play because guys were at the bottom eating up blockers. So we got 4 yards. Disappointed this was not completed down to Jensen. With his receptions, I don't know if that would have been officially a covered catch. I felt like it should have got there in time, but 4th and 6, I know that I'm down and I'm unlikely to stop him legitimately, so I do what I have to. For some reason, he must have thought I was going to try to maybe run 3 it in. Squeeze it into Jensen. Again, just wanted a sure thing. With that 69 receptions, Jim Jensen is always a good option. Back to pass 3. And again, it looks like he's calling run, which just is perplexing me against this team. Let it go against the superior matchup here with Marks Brothers. And I was able to out-tap him there, get away, and we've got a touchdown. So we're tied up, but I really don't have an answer for his offense yet. I really have to figure out a way to stop him. I'm not ready to let him just go down the field with his receivers, but I think I have to start calling run to minimize some of this damage Jackson's doing. I like my chances of him trying to complete long passes down the field. So if I call run here, he does call pass. And almost a JJ to Galt. A lot of speed on the field there. I thought he might be going for that dive play. Not sure why he goes there. There's at least 3 guys in that area, including my man defender. Maybe he assumed he was running free. But the turnover, this is exactly what I needed. I needed to get that initiative back. And look at Marino's wheels. Can only hope to contain Dan Marino on the ground. 2nd and 5. I'll take 5 yards of Marino. Kind of dangerous not getting to the sideline. And again, he sucks up there, and overthrow for Marino, just not something you expect to see. I think Page might be in bad at this point, which is why we didn't see a jump-up attempt. And he's just slow right now. Not wanting to put it on the ground. Just trying to make sure I've got the ball here. At the very least, I need a field goal. And we get ourselves a touchdown down to Jim Jensen. Dive and grab. Operating that wide receiver 2 spot. Love that hitting power down there. Can't get popcorned. And those hands. So we're back up kind of where we want to be. A lot of time left, though. And we've had all sorts of challenges stopping him when he doesn't make a mistake. So be interested to hear your thoughts. Who would you like to be in this matchup, with your play style? I know the token answer to the general Tecmo fan is I always want Bo Jackson, but if you've been in the community any length of time, I think you understand that there's more to this game than one player, and while one player can be game-breaking at times, there are just as many other ways to exploit things with quarterbacks like Marino and teams like the Eagles with QB Eagles and the 49ers and things like that. There are ways to counter things. So but again, just your thoughts on who would you rather be and why in the comments. And he does a nice job there waiting for him to come out of the break. It makes an overthrow, which leads to a JJ. My defender is caught on the automatic sequence, and I can't do anything to defend it. And here he goes back to that same, and I actually called, I think almost every time that he calls that play, I've actually called pass, but it's the guys still move up on it. I don't know what the mechanic is on that. I'll be talking to Rudog for sure. I actually do call run that time, and just try to stop the block there, but the nose tackle is not fast enough to contain Bo Jackson bouncing to the outside, and I don't get any drone help, and we've got ourselves a tie game. So well done, Levi. Get back in this one. 2 heavyweights slugging it out, and it's looking like it's going to head to the judge's scorecard for a decision time here. There's finally that little break I wanted. Just wanted some room here so I can maneuver and try to launch one down the field. Jensen just didn't get down the field, fast enough. My hope there was that some guys would get in front of him. He'd jump up, dive, and I'd have a chance maybe as a tap situation. I could have gone up top as well, one-on-one up there. Could have put Scott Mitchell in there, tried a more arcing throw. But I also like the chances of a covered catch opportunity with Marino and Jensen. So, well, I luck out. Last couple overtime games I played, I did not get the ball first, and it led to heartbreak on my end. So, move some things around here. I'm going to put Jensen in that the running back 2 slot, which on pass 2 will make him that other deep threat. I'm just checking to see what else I got here. I don't think I actually checked my conditions in the fourth quarter. So, Page must not have been in bad condition there. My apologies on that earlier comment. Player conditions do not change from the fourth to the fifth quarter. does a decent enough job of bottling that up. They're forcing it to the middle. You know, always a chance of a turnover here. My goal first and foremost is to try to make good decisions. That drone came out of nowhere really fast. I thought I was going to have a little more running time there. Otherwise, I would have gotten out of bounds. Got pass one here. Other quarterbacks, I don't make that throw. It's fun to abuse that diving mechanic. Again, we're at pass one here. And again, we're trying to hit, now this time we're going to try to hit Clayton. Anderson does his job. If he doesn't get back quite enough, that's a touchdown. Got to take those shots. Drone makes a great tackle there. I thought he'd be engaging me for another tap situation there. So 3rd and 3. And look at those wheels on Marino. So I actually break that tackle, but I do not get the first down. That drone finishes me off there. 4th and 1. There's really no way I'm giving him the ball back. So this is it. Might be a field goal opportunity, but you know, online, I'm just not going to be precise enough. Maybe 1 in 10, I make that field goal. And it looks like he covers run, which makes it difficult for me to get through with Marino. But the entire field is open, and I just wait for him to commit to a side and let the ball go. So that's the game. Mark Duper with the game-winning score. So good game to Levi. Again, his unorthodox style of play is something that has always presented some challenges. If you play him enough games in a row, you start to kind of figure it out. But you know, he's had success where, you know, traditionally you think, you know, how does he do this? Like, I can't be successful with these plays, and yet he finds a way. So that's a tribute to his game experience. And I invite you to take a few moments and try to arrange a game with him so that you know, he can get better integrated into our online community. So if you see him online in Discord, shoot him a message and get a game going with him. So I'd like to thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give us a thumbs down. Let us know what you thought about the game in the comments. And if you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. It helps us a lot. If you like commentary like this and games like this, we have other games like this that you can check out in the same playlist. So have yourself a great night, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.